This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
Let's head up north now. Tunisia's external debt as a percentage of its GDP rose to 97% last year. That's the highest rate in the North African region. That's according to data published by the African Development Bank. Tunisia's economy has been struggling for years due to political instability, which has further been exacerbated by the damage from the coronavirus pandemic. Here's CGTN's Alain Chouachi with the details from Tunis.
The AfDB report highlights that Tunisia remains more vulnerable to external crises than other North African countries due to its heavy dependence on external debt, which increased by 42.2 points between 2012 and 2020. The Minister of Economy and Planning admits that this situation is critical.
The situation is unacceptable. We're working relentlessly to improve and balance public finances. The solution to indebtedness is to encourage domestic and foreign investment, to create jobs in the private sector, to boost exports and provide additional resources to the state fund in foreign exchange. We also plan to reduce and rationalize public spending.
The African Development Bank warns that the public debt will become unsustainable if Tunisia does not undertake solid and credible reforms with broad domestic support. The country's Minister of Economy and Planning says that the current government has set its priorities for structural reforms.
It's high time for structural and balanced economic reforms in Tunisia. We will focus on the priorities. Reforming the economy quickly will have detrimental results. This will be done in a participative manner by involving all stakeholders and decision makers in the economic and social fields. We call for economic and social solidarity on all levels instead of imposed sacrifices.
Economists assert that Tunisia needs to initiate a new social pact that must start with comprehensive debt relief and a true national dialogue on economic reforms.
The state should not increase tax pressure on the private sector because this will not create a favorable business climate. Tunisia needs rather to involve social partners in a national dialogue on the public sector cost. Tunisia must reduce the public sector wage bill. Public and external debt have a direct impact on economic growth and job creation.
Financial analysts explain that gross public financing needs in the country would remain in a high range of 14 to 18% of GDP on an annual basis. Moreover, 70% of public debt is external and exceeded 80% of GDP in 2020. According to the latest report published by the African Development Bank, in the absence of a credible framework of reforms in Tunisia, the country's gross public debt should reach nearly 100% of GDP in the medium term. In addition, debt service costs absorb 28% of the budget, which limits other than development spending. Alain Chouachi, CGTN, Tunis.